Hi guys, welcome to Team Rosa channel. I'm Angie. Today we're just going to discuss a few things in regards to cruising, and for those of you who have not yet cruised, I advise you to absolutely do so. I used to be terrified and now you can't get me off of a ship. So just a few things before your cruise. Once you do your booking, they are going to send you different information, and on there, once you do your check-in, you're going to receive an email, and on that email you are able to print out your luggage tags, which I highly advise you to print out your luggage tags so that when you arrive to the ship, you're all set. It's one step less. On that luggage tag, there is going to be your information as well as your room number. That luggage tag, I have purchased these plastic luggage tags that connect, so that way if it rains or if anything happens, they won't break off and my luggage isn't lost. Second, you are going to receive your CPass card. Once you have your CPass card, you're going to need that for your check-in and pretty much everything before you arrive to the ship in regards to your cabin. It's like having your cabin key access on your phone. On that CPass card, I advise you guys to either print it out or do a screenshot, because sometimes in that terminal you guys don't have good service, so it's best to have either a printed version, a screenshot of it, or you can do both, and make sure that you have backup. So also in the process, you want to make sure if you don't have your passport that you have your ID and birth certificate. You can utilize that. Once you go to do your check-in, it'll ask you what are you going to use for your documentation. On there, you would check what you're going to use and put your information. Then you have to make sure that it's your original birth certificate, not a copy, only the original. It has to be a stamped birth certificate. If not, you will be turned away and you will be denied access into the ship. Please make sure you have all of that before leaving your house, because it's going to be a mess for you to have to go back, or if you're traveling long distance, it's going to be tough. So making sure that you have that available. We like to have copies regardless. When we go to certain ports, we leave a copy here in the ship, in the safe, and we take the originals, or vice versa. We take the copies and we leave the originals. Also, when you are getting ready to board the day before, they are going to open health questions. It's literally 2 questions that you want to make sure you answer, so that way it's less of a mess when you come in and do your check-in in person. And that's in regards to pregnancy, or if you've had any symptoms like cold, flu, or any virus symptoms. Okay, so next is the big topic. Packing. Everyone asks in regards to packing, what they should pack, what they shouldn't pack. I would say don't overdo it. Do not overdo it, because 9 times out of 10, half of those outfits you will not even utilize. Especially if you spend your days in the pool area, the jacuzzi area, famous for t-shirts, Team Rosa Channel t-shirts, and tights, or bathing suits and cover-ups during the day. Definitely, I would say do not forget medications. Your Tylenols, ibuprofens, any nausea medication. For those of you who get motion sickness, make sure you have any extra Dramamine. They do have ginger pills that help for nausea as well, and gums. So just making sure that the medications are the definite most important thing. And like, I always bring a small first aid box. So especially when we're with the kids, we bring our little first aid box, make sure we have band-aids, sprays, everything, your sunblocks, everything that you think medication wise, even Benadryl, because God forbid you have an allergic reaction to something, or one of your kids have an allergic reaction to something and you don't have Benadryl in hand. Medication is by far the biggest thing for me. Clothes, we bring 1 outfit per day and maybe an extra one just in case, and we barely even utilize that, because during the day, like I mentioned, you're going to have bathing suits, cover-ups. You're gonna want to be comfortable. I know there's some days that are elegant nights and whatnot, but you're on vacation. Dress how you want. And actually, we will be posting a video soon in regards to what we pack on our vacations and what the best options are when we are packing. So make sure you check out that video once it's posted. Okay, so upon arrival, I hope that before your cruise you have booked a parking. Some of them are first come, first serve. You may get lucky, you may not. So it's always best to probably book before arrival. When you arrive, you're going to get to the terminal. You're going to need your SeaPass card and your form of identification that you put into the system that you will be utilizing. You're going to form a line. There's a line for key if you pay for the key. There's a line for Pinnacle and Suites. And there's also just regular boarding line. So once you arrive, you have your SeaPass card, your identification like I mentioned prior, and making sure that you have it accessible. You're first going to show them that you have your SeaPass card printed or on your phone. You're going to gain access to go in towards security. All your electronics, cell phones, everything needs to be in your backpack when you go to pass through security to make this an easy process for yourself and for security. Put it through the bin. You do no open waters, no open beverages. You can bring packs of waters. You can bring packs of sodas, juices, and as well as any water that you need for a CPAP machine, which I highly recommend. Do not bring that because you can ask them on board. At least here on Royal, you can ask them on board for distilled water and they will provide that to you here in the room. When you pass through security, again, you're going to need now your form of identification and your CPAS card to finalize your check-in process. Once you pass that, hey, welcome to the waiting area. Now you sit and wait for you to board on board. Once you go, first thing I say is do your safety briefing, get that out the way, so that way you can go enjoy the rest of your trip. Okay, so you're on board, you're on the ship, everything is rocking and rolling, and now you are in there. Your vacation has officially started. Don't stress the little things. Don't worry about other people and what they're doing. Focus on enjoying and letting loose because you worked hard for this vacation. So if you have internet, you've purchased the internet package, important to know, you don't need to go to guest services for that. They do have a Voom desk and people that will help you set up your internet. That way you don't have to wait in that long line at guest services. There's a lot of different things that you can utilize around the ship as far as Voom, dining packages, all of that does not have to be at guest services. So don't hassle yourself in that line. Very important, if you have children that you want to get registered at Adventure Ocean, please make sure to do that on the first day as soon as they open, depending on how hungry you are when you arrive. Are you going to the pizzeria? Are you going to the Windjammer? Make it work, but make sure you go check out Adventure Ocean, get them registered because the kids are going to enjoy it. My kids love Adventure Ocean. They love the Teens Club. Definitely a time is held for them. Now, if you have the drink package that you purchase outside, automatically on your CPAS, all you have to do is go to any bar, show them your CPAS, your beverage package is already uploaded. So they will know that you have the drink package. As soon as you walk in, if you want a drink, it's there for you to get. Now, next, after all the goodness, your rooms are going to be ready for 1 p.m. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes they're open a little earlier, but 1 p.m. seems to be the norm. In that time, you can use it to explore the ship, get familiar with different areas, different locations, and feel free to sit back, relax. You can enjoy the pool area, whatever it is that you want to do before your room is ready. Once the rooms are ready, your CPAS cards are going to be right outside your door for you to be able to have access. A lot of times your luggages might be there or they start loading them up at 3 p.m. And sometimes you can get the luggage by dinner time. Remember, you're not the only guest, so there are a lot of luggages that they have to deliver. Okay, so now you're in your cabin. Oh, your luggage arrives. Honestly, the best thing you can do, I know a lot of people just like, oh, I'm on vacation, forget about it. I personally like to organize all my clothes and get everything out and hung up and do everything and set up everything. That way I'm free from all of that. As soon as I go to dinner, I'm free. I don't have to worry about coming back to my cabin, doing my clothes or coming back exhausted and realizing I have to put all my clothes away or, my beauty products. Honestly, what works for us is that once we have our luggage, we put everything away. We hang up our clothes, we fold them, we put everything away, and it's less stress. Make it easy for the rest of the cruise. Okay, now that you have your SeaPass card, you also want to check and compare with your family members. It's going to say your dining room, deck, your table, and the time. If that is the time or table that does not suit you guys as far as being the same table, same time, make sure you go check out the hostess and they will definitely try to make any accommodations. On the first night, it's a little hard because they're trying to accommodate everybody, in and out. So just making sure if they do not have an answer for you that same exact night, the next day they will have a reservation card available for you with any changes that you guys need. So remember, check your card. It'll say the table, the time, and the deck of the dining room in which you are going to be on. So now you want to check out the app and see what do they have on a daily basis. On certain ships, you have to make reservations. On other ships, you do not. So just making sure that you check and see what they have on a daily basis. It'll show you exactly what there is as far as comedy, music, bingo, anything pertaining to the activities. Now, if you are not tech savvy and you don't know how to look for that on the app, you can ask your room steward for a daily printout and they will put it in your cabin every single day for a printout of what the schedule is. Now, in the app, on the Royal Caribbean app, I should say, there is a chat. Some of you have questions in regards to how do you communicate with family members if you don't have internet and so on. So on the app, there is a chat where you can communicate with each other and it's free. You utilize the ship's free Wi-Fi and you can chat with each other back and forth. We used to bring walkie-talkies and also that was very helpful because we would, chat through the walkie-talkie and check in with each other. But very important is the Royal Caribbean app for you to be in contact and check out those daily schedules and make sure if you do require reservation to make sure you do your reservations because it fills up fast. If it says for some reason that you're unable to do the reservation, there is on the calendar a box office. You check and see what time and the day. It's usually the first day. They have a box office where you can go and do any reservations and they will assist you with that. Okay, so excursions is a big question as far as what is there to do. Is it kid friendly? Prior to you coming on board, do your research. We have several channels in regards to exploring in excursions and what to do and what not to do. So check those out. But do your research. Do your research, find out where you're going, check and see what do they have available. They do offer excursions on board that you can reserve online, or you can also get off the ship. And sometimes you'll find those excursions, those same exact excursions, for a cheaper price. So far, we haven't had any issues with doing any excursions without the ship. So we've always, unless it's somewhere we haven't been, like when we went to Colombia and Costa Rica, Panama, there we did our reservation with Royal Caribbean because we were with our children and it was something new. We didn't know what to expect. So making sure that you do your research, check and see if it's kid friendly, if it's friendly for those with disabilities, and what the excursion entitles as far as hiking, walking. Is it a walking tour? What does it have available for you if you have special needs? Okay, so you've enjoyed your vacation, you've gotten tanned, you've enjoyed the pools, you guys explored, you went different locations. Now it's time for disembarking. Oh man. What you want to do is make sure that you check in with guest services to make sure your account is settled. Make sure, because the last thing you want is that you're getting off the ship and your card turns red and you have to turn back in. Making sure your account is all set, that there isn't any extra charges, making sure that you have everything you need to be able to successfully disembark the ship. The night prior, you want to make sure that you pack all your luggage and have them outside of your room by 9 p.m. Some ships are 10. I would check in on whatever ship you're on to make sure you have the correct time, making sure that they have the luggage tags that belong to them. The room stewards will put them in your room or outside of your door for you to put them on your luggage. Making sure that you have everything you need. Double check your drawers, double check your safe. Make sure you empty out your room. In the morning time, there is breakfast at the Windjammer. The Cafe Latitudes, a lot of them open at 6 a.m. depending on what ship you're on. You can always check for any breakfast spots. Pay attention to whatever number it is that you have on your luggage, because if you leave the ship before your number is called, your luggage will not be in the terminal as of yet. So you would have to wait, and they do not allow you to stand and wait where the luggages are. You can, however, walk out of the ship with your luggage. And if you are going to do that, be prepared to wake up early and make a line, because the line forms, and the later you wake up, the longer the line. You know, you may get lucky and the line has already emptied out and it's easier for you to get out, but the earlier the better, because once they open, boom, you're out, you take your luggage, everything's all set. So whichever way you decide to disembark, it's whatever suits you and whatever your needs are. If you're traveling far or if you have a flight, definitely get the early morning to get out and take your luggage with you. Another thing, now that I mentioned flight, is do not book a flight early in the morning, because it is going to be tough for you to get out. A lot of things happen, you know, whether it's mechanical, they can't get the alignment of the disembarkation. A lot of things can happen. I always suggest getting a flight in the afternoon so that you're comfortable and making sure you arrive to the airport on time. The last thing you want is for an emergency to happen and for you not to arrive to the airport on time to make it for your flight. So definitely look into the early afternoon or evening flights, so that way you have time for any emergency that happens. And you know, that is it. We will upload more videos in regards to cruising. Any questions, feel free to comment down below, and I'll try to type in there and answer any questions you guys have, or anything that I have missed, or any specifics that you guys want to know. Thank you for tuning in to Team Rosa channel. I'm Angie. Thank you. Subscribe.